getting into the construction industry, all of them, or 99.something% are men. Then everywhere you go in the construction industry, you say sincerely it is men who have dominated this field. And I would like to salute the women who have decided now, we are now going to change this, and we are going to take this business, and however number, even if we fail so many times, we are going to try as much as we can and work with these men, because there's no way you can say you work without interacting with the men. But the problem that we have is that at times we give up because we see men are too strong, or because probably either they have the financial muscle, or maybe a man will just look at you and you get scared. And also on the other hand, of course, as you know, there are those men who start, of course, trying to entice you to either be the girlfriend or something like that. Of course, you know how life is. But of course, that does not mean that we cannot go ahead and do it, because these are things that put us to test, and we only have to be as strong as we can. So now I'd like to just share with you and tell you about now personality and how it affects the way we live and relate with others. So I've just decided, let me just do a small definition. I'm not going to talk about sanguines and the like. I just want to make this presentation as easy as possible. It's a personality, the way we define it. When you hear someone talking about how is Sarah Karingi's personality, it's the way you describe me, the way you see me. Am I someone what do you see in me in terms of how I talk, my thoughts, my feelings, my behavior towards others? And that is what you define. Well, you can see you are in the same industry with someone. Maybe you have two hardware shops. One is in along the, maybe one of them is your neighbor, but you see that your neighbor is selling much more. So what makes people to keep on going there? And probably even his products are much more expensive. So even in life, even when you go out to build homes, when we go out to buy products from people, when we meet, maybe like during, like say, why, and we have invited men, what will make one lady get more attracted to a certain man, not in the sense, of course, of relationship, but in terms of why would one man pick on one lady and not the other? There's more things which we are going to discuss now. And this is something I can tell you I have practiced and practiced and practiced. And I have found myself becoming a winner, because I have at times have to humble myself. I have to listen. I have to learn. Even when I had a husband, I had to learn how to be submissive. But of course, being submissive doesn't mean that you can't hear or your opinions, or you can't share with your husband what you think, but how you do it, how you communicate is very important. So now personality can be defined as someone's thoughts, someone's feelings, and the behavior towards other people. So I think I've just explained a little bit. So now there are certain traits that make us to have a good personality or a bad personality. Now, you know, even the Bible says, and I believe all of us are Christians, and if we are not, please just excuse me, but I'm just using that as a way of us understanding that you should love your neighbor the way you love yourself. Now, when I put this self-love, there are people who probably, because of the way they have been brought up, because of maybe experiences they have had, they don't have self-love. And you see, you can't give what you don't have. So, first of all, you have to, in spite of what happens in your life, have time for yourself, give yourself the best, love yourself. If it's going out, go with the right people, because if you have self-love, you're not related to someone who have bad behavior. You not have time for someone who does not respect others. So you have to start with yourself by loving yourself, because you only give the love that you have. I myself, I decided that I would love myself so much that when I feel like I want to travel to a particular place, I'll just call a friend of mine. We go, even we are going to spend one day together. We talk about some things that are going to help each other. I bring people together. We talk, and then we see how can we support each other. Then the other thing is dedicating time for others. It's unfortunate because I've seen a group of people, or some people who always think about themselves. Maybe they want to, say, build a house somewhere. So they only remember, say, Mwenda at the time when they know that, of course, that is the only time that maybe they can go to him. So they will never think of Mwenda. And when Mwenda maybe, for example, tells them, I would like you to come to my event, they will never bother because, of course, they are too selfish. So in short, let us not be selfish. And people know people who are selfless. People know those who are dedicated to others. Even in church, in mosques, wherever you go, people look at you like that, they'll know what kind of a person you are. And then there are others who feel like, I'm saying this from my own personal experience, empowering others. When I was much younger, I didn't want to empower people, but when I grew older, I kept learning. I kept listening to podcasts and of course, going to YouTube, learning from people who who are very good in leadership, someone like John Maxwell. You listen to such people, they build you, they shape you up. It's like you are a rough stone that has to be, of course, sharpened, and then they become so smooth and so beautiful that when someone looks at that stone or at that carving, they will love it so much because that is what you are supposed to do. So if you know there's something that makes you not be a good person, you need to do what. So I decided now, when I learned about empowering other people, it became so easy for me to even let go of some things, and I'm able to achieve much more. So I started empowering the people who I would see, this one has a good heart, this one is strong, this one has this particular skill. So I started also in my businesses getting people to fit in the right places. So when it comes to like one lady who is very good with customers, she does not go there. Some customers will come, they talk to you so badly. So I decided to put her there to be in charge. She's even much better than me when it comes to dealing with customers because there are certain people who talk so badly. So I empowered her. She's my manager and she's my topmost and top performing manager. You can imagine if I kept on saying, I will not let this power go. I will not empower somebody else. It's me who wants to do this and that. But over time I learned when you empower people, then of course that will give you a good personality and people even like you even much more. Then, then there is serving also with humility. There are times when people are told to serve. It doesn't mean because I call myself the queen of networking or because I'm very good when it comes to dealing with people or I'm good in a certain field and I'm asked to serve. I don't have to step on other people, shout at them, or show them that you don't matter. You know nothing. There are people who tell you, what are you coming to tell me? After all, you know nothing. What can you explain to me? Who do you think you are? You know, when you tell people like that, or when you have such thoughts, people also read the body language. What is this person? So even like if it's your own employees, or the people whom you want to help you even in building, even if it's a mason, even if it's a carpenter, whatever it is, people want someone they can relate with. So when you serve people with humility, those people will respect you and they'll listen to you. Then your character. How likable are you? There are people who are always shouting, people who are always complaining about things. Ones are like me, I don't like people who are complainers. If there's a problem, let us discuss what is this problem. We sit, we analyze each person to contribute what they think they can contribute. Because of course, it's not only me who knows everything. And at times you find that there's someone who knows something better than me. And I listen to them. So you have to make sure that, of course, you are someone who has to be likable. And people always know, Sarah, can I contribute? I say, yes, 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 even before I open my mouth. Here, I think I can give a solution. And when you empower people like that, they, of course, definitely will have to like you. Then pleasantness. Of course, pleasantness, being pleasant is the same as being likable because it's like, there are those people who are, they are quiet by nature. And there are people who look down on them, they say, Wachana na huyo. Someone like Sharon does not even talk. She's so quiet. She's this, she's that. But what I have come to learn is that those very quiet people, or the people that we say are not extroverts, we call them introverts. They are too sharp. They know so many things. They take details. And these are people who will go to a construction site and they pick details that you yourself cannot pick. So, and everybody has something to offer. Then approachability. It's unfortunate one time I remember I went to a certain event and I approached a certain person and that person was looking so rude. So you don't have to be rude because you don't know that the person that you think is not important has, and I say probably that is the person who has a key to the doors that you have been looking for. So you have to be approachable. Then you also have to be kind. These are some of the virtues that you should have. Kindness, of course, does not mean that you lose anything. If I want something from you, just explain to me. Being polite and talking well and making people know that this person is very kind, that anytime that I want someone to help me, I'll talk to Sharon, or I'll talk to Sarah, or I'll talk to Wairimu, or I'll talk to Onyango, or whoever. Yeah. Then you also have to be optimistic and you have to be positive in life. How many people have you had? And I'm sure that there are some in this group. And if you are here, please, I plead with you to change from today. Because if you have a negative attitude, my friends, people run away. They sprint and they go because they don't want to associate with you. Maintain a positive attitude. Believe that things are going to be better. That is optimism. Even when you try something 100 times, it doesn't matter. Try again, try again, try again, and have that faith and believe. The problem with most of us women is that we always say, many nimejaribu kitu, why should I bother again? I've tried so many times that I've not tried. There's some time I read, I think it was an article somewhere, I can't remember where even I saw it, when somebody some years back went to dig, he was looking for gold, he dug. Now when he was just about to get the gold, he gave up. Somebody else just came, dug the same place where he was digging, and within few meters below, he got the gold. So why should you give up? So be optimistic, keep on trying, and even as much as you try, don't struggle. There are people who know, who have solutions to whatever you want. And optimistic people will always get someone to hold their hand and work with them. Then there's this quote which says, your smile is your logo, and your personality is your business card, and the way you make others feel is your trademark. Take note of that. Take note of that, because if you look at those many people, there are some people who never smile. Me, when I was a young girl, because of the things I was going through when I was young, I hardly used to smile. And the way we were also brought up when we were young, my grandmother always used to tell us, don't go and smile at men. You know, smiling at men is not good. Okay, the way of trying to protect us from being either abused by men or men trying to get attracted to us or something like that. So they used to tell us not to smile. But I will tell you one thing. Anytime I meet somebody, I don't know, it just becomes automatic. I smile. And one time, I remember when I smiled when we were displaying some of our products at KICC. There was this tall guy who came, they were coming, my son was explaining to them how different our doors are, how different our frames are, the kind of doors, the frames we use, the wood that we use and all that. So I was just there smiling at another person there. And this tall guy said, Madam, I love your personality. I love your smile. And because of that, I'm going to buy from you. Imagine, I didn't even know him. And honestly, the following week, that man came. So your smile will be like opening a door for someone to walk in. Then your personality is your business card. I know all of us know how a business card looks like. A business card has your name. It has a certain color that, of course, defines your business. It has also it describes the kind of goods that maybe you do or the services that you do, or it has a website, or it has maybe like say Facebook, and I don't know what you call them. You people, you know whatever you call them. Your social media handles or their code words. Anyway, I'm still learning those things, so excuse me. So try to think of the way a business card has. So you have to make sure that that business card looks very attractive, such that whoever looks at it, you definitely want to see what you do. So when you see that your personality is like your business card, look at the way you dress, look at the way you do your hair, look at the way you put on your clothes. When people look at you, they're like, wow, I would like to relate with this person or the other person, you know. So when people look at you, they'll even trust you more. So you have to make sure that, of course, you dress properly. Then you also have to make sure that, of course, you have the confidence. So it's important for us to make sure that we look good. And then the way you make others feel. Imagine the way you make me feel. There are people who come, they tell me nice things about me. I feel so good. I just want to stay with them. So, I mean, everybody is like that. We've been made, God has created us with a good heart, such that when someone tells us good things, we definitely have to like them. So also when you go to do business with others, you have to make people feel good. Even when your customers shout at you, even when they tell you one thing or the other, and maybe they don't like the way you're, even when you go to a construction site, and maybe your client has said that whatever you are doing is not right, just be humble and listen. And that when you find that that customer is making noise, don't respond, just listen and listen and listen and listen. Listen, and then you, and don't fold your face, don't show him that you are angry, listen, and then you say, the first thing that you should say is I'm so sorry, pardon me for this. I am going to do the correction, and you don't have to worry. I'm not going to even charge you. Or I have heard, but now let us now discuss this matter, and then you be very be in control of your emotions, because at times you see as women, we get so angry. What kind of a customer are you? What kind of a client are you? That person will go away, and when he goes away, this is something I've also been training my daughter, I've been training all my managers. A customer does not go alone. He or she goes away with others. Now, so I think then if you want to have your good trademark or who you are, see it is Lorena, you have to make sure, and when I mention your name, please don't think that I'm attacking you. I'm only using the names that I am seeing here. I don't know you, but I'm just seeing you on this screen. Then why you should maintain a good personality is because of trust. Once you have a good trust, people will come to you because they know that you are someone who can be, who is good. People want to relate with someone whom they know. And of course, there's a quote that says, when people like you, they will listen to you. When they trust you, they will want to do business with you. So trust is very key in business. I can tell you for sure, there are many people even who give me their money in advance. I work for them when I have their money, maybe they put like 200,000, 500,000 in my account. They tell me, Sarah, go and do for me this number of doors. We have known them for many years. So, and they know that when we take to them the goods, they will not have any problem. And if there's a problem, they come, they tell us, Sarah, there's this problem, or they tell my manager there's this problem. This time I have distanced myself a little bit from my business so that I can continue doing what I am doing right now. So my people already know. So because of trust and because of the experience we have had, that trust is what has helped us to be where we are today. And we have been receiving referrals all the time. We have got a good relationship, a solid relationship with them. And that is what has gotten us to where we are. Then you also have got to have confidence. It's important for you to, when we are talking about your business, because you know it better than the way Sarah knows, maybe I don't even know your business. When someone comes and asks you questions, be ready. Be ready. It's just like the way you see soldiers have practiced so much that even when war comes, they are so ready. They know when to duck, they know when to go down, they know when to stand. So it is the same. Show your customer, show the people that you are buying from, show the people that you are giving business, that you understand your business so well, that if you can be asked any question about your business, you're not stammer, you're not look down. And a confident person looks at someone straight in the eyes, and you don't have to fold your shoulders. Body language is very important. Then, kindly build a good reputation around yourself. I know most of you are young, you are starting business, or you have already started business. I don't know how old your businesses are, but good reputation is what you sell. Why? Before, when we were starting business, there was nothing like social media. You people were always on social media. You go to Facebook, you go to LinkedIn, you go to Twitter, because Twitter is where all the missionaries are. You find that you have been exposed so badly that when people look at you, they're like, you're the one who I saw on Facebook who has done 1, 2, 3, 4 things. If there's something that you know you have done that is not professional on social media, please go and remove it. I remember a time I went to talk to some young people, and I was telling them also the way you dress is very important. Please, ladies, be decent, dress properly, such that even when people look at you, they are like, this girl, she's very decent, this girl is mature, this lady is a woman who can be respected. Yeah? So build that name properly such that even when I'm referring you to my friends, I will not be embarrassed and I will not feel ashamed. Then build profitable and solid relationships. What I mean by profitable is not just money. It is when I think of someone who can build for me a house, I'll think of Elizabeth. If I want somebody who I can connect, immediately hear someone saying, even on social media, there's someone who's looking for ABCD. People even at times refer me without even knowing. They say there's this lady, she's called Sarah Karingi, this is what she does, this is her number, call her. So people call me, they tell me, Sarah, I got this number, I was given your number by XYZ, because they tell you, she or he told me that, you know, you do very nice work, and even like when you do this or that, your work is just, it talks for itself. So you can imagine someone marketing like that and you don't even know who that person is. So that is what it means by good reputation. Then, sorry, profitability is, that is now what I'm talking about, that when people refer you like that and you do business with those that you don't even know, that is of course profitability. And then the other way, I would also talk about profitability in quotes, is when you have that good name, when people keep on talking to you about you, good things about you, marketing you and all that, that is what I'm talking about profitability. So people will be marketing you when you'll be asleep, when you'll be traveling, when you're not there. And then you make sure that also when people call you to help them, please be available. Don't always be so busy. Oh, I'm busy, I'm not available, I'm going here, I'm going there. Why can't you create time for other people? When I see you taking away your time to come to my event, definitely I'll become a very good friend. So I'm not saying that you should, of course, always be going to all the events, but at least it's good to, once in a while, you go to see somebody. If you're not, write to them a message and tell them, I'm sorry, I will not be able to come. But if it is maybe like, even if it is a child's event, send something like 1,000 shillings or 2,000 shillings or buy a gift and send that gift. That is how to build a solid relationship. Then we should also learn to actively listen. I think this one I've already covered because it gives more knowledge. When probably you hear a customer complaining or a customer complimenting you or asking something, or if you are seated at a table, you can even take a pen and write what this person is saying. Do you know how someone feels? I feel so good to see someone, when I'm talking to them, they are taking notes. I'm like, wow. Me, the first time I saw that was a certain Indian. I was like, why is he writing? And what is this writing? But you see, we learn from other people. So he was taking notes of what I was saying. After we finished the conversation, he did a summary of everything that I had said. You know, that is very honorable because you also learn, when you listen, you learn the thoughts of this other person, and this other person will respect you, and this other person will be like, I'm giving this person, he is giving me all the attention, so I have to respect him. And then you also learn about other people. When you meet people, in most cases, people always want to talk about themselves. They don't give someone an opportunity to talk about themselves. So when people notice that all you want, you want to hunt from me, you want to get everything from me, you want me to give you business, or you want me to come and listen to what you are doing, but you have no time for me, please listen to that other person, because from him, you also learn certain things that you may not know, and you should also never interject, because when you interject, you cut the line of communication. So let this person talk, let him listen to him, learn from him, and also ask positive questions. And then people will connect you to opportunities or to influencers or to networks and also events that they have. I remember one time going to Rio Sports Club, and I had taken some of my friends there to go, and I was connecting them to some of my friends who I knew would buy from them. So you can imagine when I went there much later, some people, of course, also called me. They also did the same for me. And this is something I've been training people and telling them, I want to connect you to some of my friends who may not even come to you, but in such an event maybe, or when we have a wedding or we have a golf tournament, they come, I will connect you now to them and I market you like I have done so much that this person will just want to do business with you. Now, as I conclude, there is this quote I have. I normally put, I have some quotes, and those people who are my friends on, say, I have already saved your number. If you check on my status, you'll see some of my quotes. And this is a quote which, of course, I did a while back. I think that was last year. That is, to succeed at networking, or even in business, not necessarily networking, put the interest of people ahead of yours and express gratitude to and for them. So when someone does something to you, for you, make sure that, of course, always give gratitude. Tell them, thank you very much. So XYZ, say it is Lorraine, thank you so much, Roshni, for this and this, whatever you've done for me, I really appreciate. Now, I think I've finished my presentation, but now I'll just quickly take some shots, maybe a few minutes, to tell you about my story, how I have found myself now in this field of men, which is so much dominated by men, but I have also excelled. As I said earlier, we learn from mistakes, we learn from other people, we learn from maybe books, we learn online, and every time, if you're open to learning, you get to know so much. So now I would say that my late husband used to be an architect, then later he turned to a contractor. And he continued building houses for people, and that is where I started learning a few tips on networking, on building. And now when he died, he left 4 buildings which were not completed for his clients. So what did I do? Number one, of course, I was very shocked. I didn't know what to do because there was so much that I was supposed to do, dealing with the children. I was also going through, of course, that loss, of course, the pain. And so I decided now what I was going to do was to, of course, to sit and write down exactly what I was supposed to do. And so then, of course, this buildings, what I decided to do was to call these people. I sat with each one of them individually, and I discussed with them how we are going to build, because some of them were telling me to refund the money. So I said no. And of course, you have to have the confidence that I was telling you about in my talk. I had the confidence of telling someone, I will do it. And they're asking, are you sure you'll do this? I said yes, because of course, I used to see my husband with architects, these other contractors, and of course, all those people who are in the building industry. Now, because of the way I handled the whole thing, these people listened to me and they waited to see. So I started with one project. I worked with these other, the contractors and these other people, of course, were helping me. I finished, so it didn't know time I'd finished. But you see, along the way, I was making mistakes because at times I would go, I order for things, and at times, of course, I would get conned. So I continued consulting. Then I also realized, instead of using my truck for buying things and taking to the site, I decided that I'll be using the suppliers' trucks to supply things to our site. So I saved a lot of money for that. You see, I'm still learning. So, but of course, it's the way you go and talk to the person, because of course, I told them, look here, I would prefer if you can be supplying these things to my site. So that way I was able to cut the cost. Then the other thing that I did was to humble myself and learn. And when I go to the site, I would also talk to the fundis. I tell them, wow, it's just the way I was telling you about appreciating people for something good they've done. And I can tell you for sure, I was able to learn so many things, how to build. I also learned how to negotiate. So I would go to Asians where my husband used to take things, and I would tell them, the Mzee is no longer there, but you don't worry, I'll continue the construction. So give me these things on credit. The time I learned the art of negotiation. So when you are in the construction industry, it's if you can be able to build without taking a huge loan, but maybe you have a certain source of income. I thank God because my husband had put up some rental houses. So I sat down, I looked at how much money was coming through, and then I was able to pre-plan and know how much money I would be paying these people. So I would take things, then I would keep on paying, then I'll go again for more. And I tried to minimize loans as much as possible, because when he died, I had to clear so many loans, this loan, that loan, like that. So this is something which I learned over the time, and I became a very good negotiator. So when you're in this business, go talk to these men and understand what they do. Then when I go to places where there are men, like I go to golf clubs, what I do, instead of going to gossip with women or with other people who, of course, doing things that are not important, I go and I sit with men. I'm so confident that I go and say, hi, how are you? Maybe there's a man that I know. And I will tell him, oh, Karaoke, it's long since I saw you. Allow me to just come and sit next to you, because why I do this? I have learned that, of course, when you sit with them, and some of them, of course, they drink, I'll order. And at times, men will hear them senganyering women and saying, women just like being bought for. So I would go and ask them to bring maybe a waiter. You come, serve them each one. Do you know what happens after that? they give me business. Just because of that, they've seen this woman is not here just to take from us, but she can even imagine only one bottle of Pilsner, or you call them what, another one is taking maybe like, I think it's a Tasca or whatever. And they will sit and they will talk, and we talk nice things, and I will listen to what they talk, and I learn a lot from them. Others tell me, they even refer me to others. So it means when you go to where men are, just listen to what they are doing and respect them. Then come to leadership. I am a leader when it comes to, like, in what we call the United Kenya Club. I didn't know how to lead men, and these are mature men, not younger men than maybe younger than me. They are older men, and you see, of course, what I learned is first of all to listen when they are talking, and at times I would be shouted down. And I decided, one lady, I remember she left and said never to come back for those meetings, but I said I have to learn. So I went to class to learn how to lead when you are in a board, such that we were told, of course, you have to listen. Then, of course, you try to influence this other. So in my free time when I'm in the club, I try to talk to these people because some of them are also in this industry. All others, of course, are lecturers or whatever they are. But a man, of course, because of his ego, they'll be like, they want to bring you down. That is something which, of course, I came to learn. But when you respect them, they'll listen to you. So what I do is, when I'm in the club, I talk to them and I tell them this agenda of mine I wanted to pass. And the reason why I wanted to pass is because of 1, 2, 3, 4 things. And because you are my friend, please, when it comes to my time, please just say that, of course, whatever Sarah is saying is, I think, is something good. And I have learned now how to deal with them. So for me, I'm not really worried because I know I've already been able to talk to them in good time. And that time, when my time comes, the chairman always passes what I want passed. So it is an experience. It's something that you learn. It's asking until you find yourself learning and becoming a very a good person who can be able to relate with others. So when it comes to relationships, I have learned how to deal with every kind of a person. There are those people who have a very bad spirit. And when it comes to leadership again, I'll influence them, this kind of leadership, through somebody who is a friend to this person who, of course, wants to bring you down, or someone who is not listening to you. You don't have to shout at them and you don't have to be angry. So by using their friends, you are able to achieve what you want. So allow me to stop there. And thank you very much for listening to me. And now you are free to ask questions. Asanteni sana. I hope I've delivered.
Thank you so much, Sarah. That was a very inspiring story, and I think I've learned so much from that. And I'm sure all of us have. I can read some of the comments that we have people sent in. We have from Scholar. She said, "That's awesome insight and inspiring story, Sarah. Humble yourself and learn." That's great. We have fantastic from Roshni, and we have a great story from Rukia. So I've asked people, you can send in your questions. Maybe I can just start us off. I have one question, which you had mentioned a number of personality traits, namely self-love, we have optimism, and I know traditionally we have there are a number of traits that are traditionally associated with males, and we have others that are associated with females. Maybe I can give an example. Feminine traits are things like nurture. Then women are known to be nurturing, kind, tactful, whereas the more masculine traits are being more logical, blunt, non-nurturing, aggressive, bold, dominant. I wanted to hear your opinion on that. Do you feel that there are certain personality traits that are better suited for women as opposed to men, or does it really have any impact on the field that we are in? Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't get your question.
My question is, traditionally, yes, there are personality traits that are predominantly known, associated with male, and there are those that are associated with females. So that females are known to be more nurturing, whereas men are known to be non-nurturing, whereas men are more aggressive and